Good morning, Appalachian Trail community and Rambino family. Day 5, year 2 of Rocksylvania. So we are doing the Port Clinton to Eckville / Eckville shelter today. Yesterday, at the end of the day, I stopped short on the video. I didn't show you the big down at the end of the day, and I was tired, and I didn't realize how big a down it was, but that down sucked. I mean, it's the kind that your feet are fine, no blisters on the bottom, and it causes blisters on the bottom because it's like literally a 45-degree angle. There was times that I went down it that I had to turn around and walk backwards. If I'd had a rope, I'd grab onto it. So that sucked. And it's only like, I don't know, half a mile, but it's still, it sucks. So of course today, we're continuing on the other side of that gap, and we had to come up. And we pretty much had to come up something, it wasn't as hard, I don't think, as that other, if we'd gone up that other, but it's still straight up 1,000 foot of gain in a mile and a half. But the difference is it was first thing this morning. I was good and fresh, had plenty of giddy up and go in the tank, and I met up with Dianimal. So hiked with him last year, met up with him this year now, and so we chatted the whole way up, and I was in front, and he did that on purpose because he's letting me silk blaze. For y'all that don't know, silk blazing is the first person down the trail clears it of cobwebs in the morning. I had them cobwebs all over me. One time I got a spider in my beard. And anyway, and then of course when we got to a part of the trail where other people had hiked, he took the lead and he took off. That's okay. He's mid-40s. He's an ultra runner. I'm 60, not an ultra runner, so I'm okay with that. It's not a race anyway. But we had a couple downs, couple flats, and now obviously I'm doing another up. Fortunately, they do have steps that they've hewn here, and there is some switchbacks, I guess, so not as hard as something without all of that. It's still a grind up. We got started earlier today. We got started at got on trail. We met at the trailhead at 7. Once again, I did not sleep good. Only got about 4 hours of sleep, so I'm not fully recharged or fully healed, but we're Charlie Mike anyway. And I am hopefully, I don't know if it'd be the last big up or not, but we'll see. If it's not, I might throw up. All right, let me get off this thing, and I'll get back on here. I want to see something for y'all. Well, this is certainly odd to walk up on. Thought it was a barn or a grain silo, but nope. These are all, this is a Astronomical Society. So these are all observatories up here. Pretty sophisticated ones. Lehigh Valley Astronomical Society, yep. So that thing spins and opens up so you can stick your telescope out and look. That looks like somebody's got their telescope stored in there, so they got this where they set it up here, and then you got that one right there. The roof rolls back over those rails. So yeah, wow, up here in the middle of nowhere. That's pretty cool. Up here at Pulpit Rock, I'll take you over here and let you see Pulpit Rock. Looks like they got a privy over here too. Cool. I don't know if it's for Appalachian Trail use or not. So yes, the answer to that question is the pulpit. The throne, the privy is open to hikers, and I am now at Pulpit Rock. Kind of got a little mini McAfee knob going on there, but see how this rock is fractured off right here all the way around. Well, that's where you get these big rocks turn into what they call Devil's Marble Yard, like that. But yep, this is a view from Pulpit Rock. I'm not sure what direction this is looking. Probably eastish. That looks like 70, I think it's 74 or something. I can't remember, but anyway, yep, that is Pennsylvania out in front of you. All right, told you I'd let you see something when I saw it. I saw it and you've seen it. Let's go. This is the Pinnacle. It's quite the precipice we got going on right here. I guess you can see this for miles around. I don't know if I was over there sometime or not. Anyway, this is the Pinnacle. This is the road leading up to the Pinnacle. Pinnacle is I just showed you that overlook, but it's also, I didn't take a picture of it, I should have, but there's a giant pile of rocks there. I mean, 20 feet tall and 40 feet across of just rocks at the, you know, size of a bag of concrete, I guess, is the best reference up there. So I'm not sure exactly what the point of that thing is up there. I don't know if it's just people over the years have piled them up there or what, but anyway, this is very rocky going down here. So I see people just prance on by here like they got good sense, and I just can't do that. So got a disturbing call from my wife, still processing that and trying to figure out exactly what to do with it. I think I know, but let me process it a little bit, and I will get back to y'all on it and let you know what's going on. All right, coming in the Eckbill shelter where I got the car parked, and I am probably 2 miles out. So I know for y'all it's just been a minute ago, but for me it's been an hour, a couple hours ago, and I've thought about the issue of my son, so I'll share that with you. So my son is a nurse, and he is doing great and thriving, but he is always trying to outdo his old man. And so when they were growing up, they would always tell, going to school, they'd say, "Daddy, tell us a story. Tell us a story about what you did when you were growing up." And so I've told them all my war stories about stuff that I did as a kid and all the adventures and everything I had. And so apparently they are trying to outdo me. And so, for instance, he a month ago, 6 weeks ago, he took a month off to go to Spain for the week. So he used his PTO time, went over there to Spain, hiked about half of the Camino, and then went and ran with the bulls, and then just did some touring. Came back, worked for 2 weeks, and then over the past 2 weeks, he's took the remainder of his PTO and went to Portugal. Well, in the interim of all that, what's occurred is he had put in and been working with the recruiter to do a travel nurse in San Diego. He'd been out to San Diego last year twice, stayed at a hostel on the beach, just absolutely loved the place. Had a great time out there being young, and so he's like 29 now, and wanted to get back out that way just to experience it again in a working environment. And I think his dream's been to work there, and then there's a lot to do: hiking, biking, beach, surfing, just stuff like that. And so he wanted to do that, and his plan is to just do 3 months travel stint as a travel nurse. And the recruiter had sent him a couple jobs, and he's like, nope, I'm not taking anything unless it's San Diego. And they'd offered him LA. Nope, he's not going to do LA. A couple other places. And anyway, they offered him San Diego, and so he is now informed his mom he'll be leaving, and this is one of the tough things, in 3 weeks for San Diego. And he'll be gone for 3 months. So that she called me up, and she was not in a good place. And that's her baby, and he's talked to us about it before, and I guess now the realism is set in, and she's concerned, well, first and foremost, that he's going to be on the other side of the continent, and she can't get to him. He's not going to, he's going to be, right now he's an hour away and where he lives from us, and now he's going to be multiple hours on a plane. So she's concerned about that, of course. And the big thing she's concerned about is he'll go out there and stay. And so this is all new to her. And she called me up, not in a good place. And as her husband, I need to be there for her. And as y'all know, my mom's had a TBI last year, and she has been diagnosed with they say mild dementia, but her long-term memory's shot. It's gone. So she is in a loop whenever you talk to her, and she'll ask you the same thing multiple times. And so she's asked constantly when I'm coming back. And I don't know if that's constantly because, if there's part of that underneath that's like, well, I want to see my son again. And there's part of that is just, she's just stuck in that loop. I don't know, but particularly my wife, I need to be there for her, and my mom, it seems to be this trip away has kind of hit her a little harder than typically when I go off. She used to be pretty stoic and it didn't hit her, but she's different now. Anyway, I think I'm going to have to end my trip early. My plan had been to hike with Dianimal and go all the way to Delaware Water Gap and finish Pennsylvania, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'm going to have to leave tonight. So that's tough to come off trail, but at the same time, when your family needs you, you go and take care of family. And so that's what I'm going to do, and that's what the Lord's placed upon my heart and in my head. And much as I hate to leave the trail, and especially leave Dianimal, because he was looking forward to hiking with me, I was looking forward to hiking with him, and of course today we've hiked about half the day together. But as I told you before, he's an ultra runner, and so I'm not going to keep up with him. That's okay. We did the first day and had a good conversation. I mean, first half day, but had a good conversation. But unfortunately, that's going to come to an end, and so hopefully he will understand. Until I get back home, I will get all these uploaded and get those out to you as soon as possible. Folks, thanks for tuning in, and as always, appreciate you, and we hope to see you out here.